Lagos shimmered with contradiction, neon towers piercing the sky, while gutters of the slums choked with smoke and hunger. Amid this restless city walked Kelechi Kele Okoro, 19, lean and scarred, a boy the streets spat out as cursed. His uncle's drunken rage had thrown him into the night, leaving him with nothing but a frayed backpack and the scar across his brow as a permanent reminder of rejection. Vendors mocked him. Children whispered his name like a warning. Yet in his weary eyes flickered a spark of defiance, a refusal to die invisible. Beyond the markets, beneath the bridge where shadows gathered, another soul rocked in her silence. Adeobi Nwaka, 42, tall and elegant even in tatters, clutched a tin of buttons and murmured to ghosts. The world called her mad. Destiny called her hidden billionaire. Their paths were about to collide. The room reeked of palm wine and sweat as Uncle Obiora swayed on his feet, bottle in hand, eyes red with bitterness. "You useless boy," he spat, voice cracked. "Ever since you came, misfortune follows me." Kele tightened the straps of his frayed backpack, chest heaving. "Uncle, I only want peace. I can work." "Work?" Obiora's laughter was jagged. He slammed the cane stick against the wall, dust falling. "Your cursed face drives blessings away. Out of my house." Rain drummed the zinc roof as neighbors gathered at the doorway, whispering. Kele's scar caught the dim bulb light, making him look older than his 19 years. He whispered, "If I leave, I have nowhere." Obiora shoved him hard toward the door. "Better nowhere than here." The night opened like a wound, and Kele stepped into it, his fate forever changed. The rain hammered Lagos streets as Kele stumbled out, his frayed backpack sagging. Neon danfos roared past, spraying filthy water onto his torn jeans. He muttered, "God, where do I go now?" His voice cracked, swallowed by the storm. A group of young men under a kiosk sneered. "See Am, the cursed boy. His own uncle don't want Am." Laughter echoed like knives. Kele clenched his fists but kept walking. Hunger gnawed at him. Each step felt heavier than the last. A market woman pulled her child closer, whispering, "Stay away. Misfortune walks with him." Kele's scar stung as if branded by their words. He paused beneath a flickering billboard, its slogan mocking him, "Tomorrow belongs to you." He whispered bitterly, "Not me." The rain blurred his vision, but deep inside, a small fire refused to die. Kele's shoes squelched as he pushed through a narrow mechanic yard, the smell of oil and rust heavy in the night air. A tarpaulin stretched over broken cars offered the promise of shelter. He dropped his backpack, whispering, "Just one night. Just let me rest." His body trembled with exhaustion. He curled up on a cracked tire, but the clatter of footsteps shook him awake. A mechanic staggered in, torchlight stabbing his face. "You? Get out. This is not for cursed strays like you." Just for tonight," Kele pleaded. The man hurled a spanner onto the ground near him. "Leave before I break your bones." Kele grabbed his bag and ran, shame burning hotter than the rain. As he fled into the storm, the words echoed inside him. No home, no welcome, only the road ahead. The storm eased to a drizzle as Kele stumbled beneath the massive bridge. The air was thick with smoke from cooking fires and the sour stench of stagnant water. Shacks of wood and rusted zinc clung to the pillars, alive with voices of the forgotten. Laughter rang out ahead. A group of boys circled a woman rocking on a crate, her clothes shredded, her eyes far away. "Mad woman, sing for us," one jeered, tossing a pebble. She clutched a rusty tin close, whispering, "Buttons, don't scatter, don't scatter." Kele froze, his breath sharp. Her face, though gaunt, carried a strange grace that unsettled him. He whispered to himself, "Why do they hate her so?" The boys jeered louder, but Kele's fists tightened. Something inside him refused to join their cruelty. He stepped closer, curiosity and pity warring within. Kele stepped forward, his voice shaking but firm. "Leave her alone," he shouted. The boys turned, sneering. "Or what, cursed one? You and Madwoman make fine pair." They shoved past him, still laughing as they scattered into the night. Silence fell. Only the drip of water from the bridge above and the rattle of Adeobi's tin filled the air. She rocked slowly, whispering, "Buttons safe now, safe." Kele crouched beside her, setting his backpack down. "Don't mind them. I won't let them hurt you." Her cloudy eyes flickered toward him. "Why?" she murmured. They say you are cursed. He swallowed hard. Then maybe two curses can watch each other's backs. For the first time, her lips curved faintly. She placed one button in his palm. Soldier, she said. Kayleigh clenched it, heart pounding, not knowing this moment had changed everything. The bridge shacks quieted as night deepened. Kayleigh sat cross-legged, backpack propped against the wall. Adaobi rocked softly, her tin pressed to her chest. He whispered, "Are you hungry?" She tilted her head. Hungry, for what was stolen. Kayleigh frowned. Stolen? Her eyes sharpened for a moment, startling him. Green stone, door of glass, they locked me away. Then the fog returned, and she clutched her tin tighter. Kayleigh lowered his gaze, murmuring, "Maybe I was locked away too, just in people's hate." Adaobi studied him, then placed the tin between them. "Keep the soldiers safe." He smiled faintly, touching the rusty tin. "I will." For the first time, the rain sounded less cruel, like a rhythm binding them together. Morning light slipped through cracks in the shacks. Kayleigh woke shivering, clutching his backpack like armor. Beside him, Adaobi murmured in her sleep, her tin balanced on her lap. She jolted awake suddenly. "He signed it, my name erased." Kayleigh blinked. "Who signed what?" Adaobi's gaze clouded again. "The glass doors, the papers, they took everything." He whispered, "Dreams again." She turned sharply, fragile dignity flashing. "Not dreams. Memories." Kayleigh frowned but nodded. "Then we'll guard them, till you remember all." Adaobi studied his scar, touching her tin protectively. "Even scars can become crowns," she muttered. Kayleigh's heart stirred, the first time anyone had spoken of his scar without scorn. Later, smoke from cooking fires filled the underbridge. Children ran barefoot, chasing a tin can. Kayleigh watched silently, clutching a dry piece of bread. Adaobi leaned close, her voice hushed. "They'll come back for me." The sister, her eyes like knives. Kayleigh chewed slowly, unsettled. "Sister? You mean family?" Adaobi shuddered. "Family steals deeper than thieves." He swallowed, then offered half the bread. "Eat. Ghosts can't hurt you if you're strong." She hesitated, then bit gently. Her gaze softened, eyes meeting his. "Why give me what you barely have?" He shrugged. "Because no one ever gave me anything." For a moment, her trembling stopped. She whispered, "Maybe curses break when kindness is shared." That night, thunder cracked across the sky. Kayleigh woke to find Adaobi standing at the water's edge, her scarf whipping in the wind. He rushed forward. "Ma, what are you doing?" She pointed to the reflection of the bridge pillars. "Prison bars, they trapped me behind them." Kayleigh grabbed her arm gently. "You're free here. No one can trap you again." Her voice trembled. "They said I was barren, useless. They cursed me till my mind broke." Kayleigh's chest tightened. "Then they lied. You're still here. You're stronger than them." For a moment, the storm lit her face, not mad but wounded, regal. She whispered, "Strong, because you see me." Days passed. Whispers spread under the bridge. "The boy stays with the mad one." Some mocked, others avoided them. Kayleigh ignored it, patching a hole in their shack roof. Adaobi watched, murmuring, "You fix walls, while they break hearts." Kayleigh grinned faintly. "A roof keeps rain off our heads. That's enough for now." She leaned closer. "One day, you'll build bigger roofs. For many, not just two." He laughed, shaking his head. "I can barely save myself." Her almond eyes cleared briefly. "You already saved me." The words hit him harder than the rain. For the first time, Kayleigh felt the curse crack, like lights slipping into darkness. The evening air grew heavy with smoke and noise. Kayleigh returned with scraps of roasted corn, setting them between himself and Adaobi. "You found food again," she said softly. He shrugged. "I trade small chores. They don't spit if you scrub their stalls." Adaobi's almond eyes sharpened. "That's how they broke me. Work, but no child, no heir, and then they called me barren, cursed." Kayleigh froze. "Who called you that?" Her voice trembled. "My sister." She smiled as she twisted the knife. He clenched his fists, jaw tight. If family can do that, who is left to trust? Adaobi placed a button in his hand. "Trust those who bleed beside you." That is family. Kayleigh swallowed hard, the word family burning as though he'd never known it before. Word spread quickly. "The cursed boy sits with the mad one." Vendors shook their heads. Children mimicked his scar. Kayleigh tried to ignore them, hammering nails into a makeshift bench near their shack. Two men stopped, laughing. Look at him, building throne for Queen of Madness. Kale stood tall, sweat on his brow. Better a bench than a heart full of rot. Adaebi's gaze, lucid for once, lingered proudly. He builds because he is not afraid. The men spat on the ground and walked away. Kale sank onto the bench, breathing hard. Adaebi whispered, "When they mock you, don't bow. Kings never bow." Kale stared at her, a strange heat in his chest. Was she truly mad, or did she see something others could not? One humid night, Adaebi traced her fingers across the ground, drawing shapes in the dirt. Kale leaned closer. "What's that?" She whispered, "My father's mark." They erased it from the papers. He frowned, watching the design. A circle split by a line, like a stone cut in half. "Stone, green stone," she muttered. "He promised I'd carry his name, but they stole it." Kale tilted his head. "Stole? From who?" Her face hardened. "From me." The moment broke as laughter erupted nearby. "Mad woman teaching cursed boy magic," someone shouted. Kale stood, shielding her drawing with his body. "Leave her be." The voices faded, but Adaebi's hand still trembled. She whispered, "When truth returns, they will fear us both." The whispers grew louder. Some said Kale was bewitched, others claimed Adaebi's madness spread through him. He ignored them, washing his hands in the filthy water beneath the bridge. Adaebi sat nearby, eyes following him. "They fear you because you do not bow." He shook his head. "I'm just trying to survive." Her gaze sharpened. "Survivors bend. You build. That makes them afraid." Kale looked at her, startled. "Why do you talk like you know me better than I do?" Adaebi clutched her tin, whispering, "Because I once built too, until they tore it away." Her words lingered, heavy as the dripping water around them. One evening, a group of men gathered nearby, gambling. Their laughter was sharp, their words cutting. "See the cursed boy and his queen of rags," one shouted. Kale stiffened, fists tight. Adaebi touched his arm, whispering, "Let them talk. Stones thrown at lions cannot wound." But the men drew closer, taunting. Air of madness. Kale rose. "Say it again." They smirked, but hesitated at the fire in his eyes. Slowly, they backed away. Adaebi's almond eyes glimmered. "You stood like a king, though the world calls you beggar." Kale sank back down, chest pounding. "I'm no king." She smiled faintly, her tin rattling. "Kings don't start as kings. They start as boys who refuse to bow." Amina, the young nurse, arrived under the bridge with a bag of medicines. She moved from shack to shack, checking children's coughs. When she reached Adaebi, the woman clutched her tin tightly. "Stay away." Adaebi cried. Kale stepped forward, shielding her. "She means no harm." Amina studied Kale's scar, then Adaebi's trembling hands. "This woman, she looks familiar." Adaebi whispered, "They took my name. They buried me alive." Amina frowned, kneeling gently. "Who took it, ma?" Adaebi's eyes darted, fear rising. "The sister, the man." Kale tightened his grip on her shoulder. "Don't push her," he warned softly. Amina looked between them. "She's not just anyone. Watch her closely. One day you'll see." That night, Adaebi woke screaming. "The will. They burned it." Her cry tore through the slums. Kale shook her shoulders gently. "Ma, calm down." "What will?" She gasped, eyes blazing clear for a heartbeat. "My father's. His wealth, his blessing, it was mine. They stole it." Kale stared, stunned. "Wealth?" She clutched her tin. "The sister and her husband. They called me Baron. They cursed me mad. But I remember." Her voice broke into sobs. Kale held her close, whispering, "You're not mad. You're alive." In that moment, Adaebi's tears soaked his shoulder, and the boy called cursed felt like a shield she had never known. The next day, whispers spread further. A trader muttered, "The mad one speaks of wealth." Others laughed, but one man frowned. "Careful. I heard she once lived on the island. Had a driver, cars." Kale overheard, heart pounding. Could it be true? He returned to Adaebi, who rocked quietly. "Ma, did you live in the big city?" Her eyes narrowed. "City of glass. They shut its doors against me." Kale pressed softly. "Who?" Her lips trembled. "My blood. My sister." The words hit like a drumbeat. Each clue tied her madness to something more, a past too heavy to ignore. That evening, Baba Teo, a gray-haired driver, wandered through the slums searching for someone. His eyes fell on Adaebi, and he froze. "Madam." His voice cracked. Adaobi blinked at him, confused. Do I know you? Tayo's eyes brimmed with tears. You were my madam. Years ago. Kayleigh stepped protectively between them. Who are you? The old man bowed slightly. Baba Tayo. I drove her car, back when she still smiled. Adaobi's eyes flickered with recognition, then faded again. They took it all gone. Tayo shook his head, whispering, not gone. Only buried. And I will help dig it back. That night, Tayo returned with old papers wrapped in cloth. He laid them before Kayleigh and Adaobi. I kept these, though they warned me not to. Proof of who she is. Kayleigh unfolded them, his eyes widening at seals and signatures. Adaobi Nwaka, founder, heir. Adaobi touched the paper with trembling hands. Mine, before they stole it. Kayleigh looked at Tayo. Why show us now? The driver's voice cracked. Because they will come looking, now that she stirs again. You must be ready. Adaobi clutched her tin tighter. They will try to kill what's left of me. Kayleigh's jaw set. Then they'll have to go through me first. In a polished office on Victoria Island, Ijeoma scrolled through her phone, lips tightening. Rumors say she's alive. Adaobi. Chuka poured himself brandy. Impossible. We left her broken. Ijeoma slammed the glass desk. Yet someone whispers her name again. A driver, a boy. If she resurfaces, everything we built burns. Chuka smirked. Then we silence her again. Ijeoma leaned closer, emerald dress shimmering in the neon skyline. Not just her. Whoever stands with her. Far away, under the bridge, Adaobi rocked quietly. Unaware predators circled. Kayleigh watched her, a chill running down his spine as if danger had already arrived. That night, Kayleigh felt unease. He turned to Adaobi, who rocked with her tin. Ma, do you ever feel watched? Her eyes sharpened. Shadows always follow stolen crowns. He frowned, scanning the darkness. Two strangers loitered by the bridge, whispering. Kayleigh's heart raced. He pulled Adaobi closer. Stay inside. I'll watch. She touched his scar, whispering. Scars are swords if carried with courage. Kayleigh gritted his teeth. Whoever lingered in the dark, he would not let them near her. The next morning, Funmi, an investigative journalist, arrived snapping photos. You shouldn't be here, Kayleigh warned. She lowered her camera, eyes sharp. I know who she is. Adaobi Nwaka, missing billionaire philanthropist. They thought she vanished. Adaobi froze, clutching her tin. They buried me. Papers signed in lies. Funmi's voice softened. If I tell your story, the world will believe. Kayleigh glared. Or the world will hunt her harder. Adaobi whispered. Truth must be spoken, even if it burns. Kayleigh's chest tightened. Was he ready for fire? In her office, Ijeoma scrolled through headlines. Journalist spots forgotten heiress? Her knuckles whitened. She's resurfacing, she hissed. Chuka leaned back, sipping brandy. So we buy silence. Ijeoma shook her head. No. This time, we end her story. Her eyes glittered with malice. Find the boy. If she clings to him, he is her weakness. Chuka smirked, already dialing his phone. Across town, Kayleigh sat with Adaobi, unaware his name had entered their enemies' mouths. That night, Kayleigh found Adaobi awake, her tin open. Buttons lay in neat rows. He whispered, Why do you line them up? Her almond eyes glowed faintly. Each soldier is a memory. Each waits to march. Kayleigh studied the rows, noticing one paper scrap with a faded seal, Nwaka Foundation. He gasped. This is real. Adaobi nodded slowly, clarity piercing through. They thought madness would bury me. But memory is rising. A cold wind swept the shack, and Kayleigh felt the storm of their enemies drawing near. The night was restless. Kayleigh awoke to footsteps outside. Peering through a crack, he saw two men circling the shack. Adaobi stirred. They come again, shadows and borrowed faces. Kayleigh grabbed a rusted pipe, heart pounding. He hissed, Stay back, Ma. The men whispered, We just need the boy. The woman's already broken. Rage burned through Kayleigh. He burst out. Touch her, and I'll fight till blood floods this bridge. The men recoiled, surprised by his fire. One spat. Your curse will kill you first. They slinked away, vanishing into the maze of shacks. Adaobi's trembling hand reached for Kayleigh. You stood like fire, she whispered. But Kayleigh's breath shook. He knew this was only the beginning. They would return. The next morning, Funmi returned, camera in hand. Kayleigh, the world must see her truth, she urged. Kayleigh glared. The world already wants her dead. Adeabi's eyes cleared for a rare moment. If silence remains, they win. Fummi raised her camera. One photo could break their lies. Kayleigh's chest tightened. If the photo spread, Adeabi would no longer be hidden. Yet hiding meant they could be erased quietly. Finally, Adeabi lifted her chin. Take it. Fummi clicked the shutter. The sound was louder than thunder in Kayleigh's ears. By evening, the photo had leaked online. Headlines blazed. Mad heiress found in Lagos slum. In her office, Igioma's scream shattered a glass. That cursed boy. He brings her back from the grave. Chuka snarled. Then the boy dies first. Meanwhile, Kayleigh scrolled through a passerby's phone, eyes widening at Adeabi's picture. Ma, the world has seen you. Adeabi's hands shook. Then they will come. The sister. The husband. Kayleigh gripped her shoulders. Let them come. They'll find you stronger than before. Adeabi gazed at him, whispering, because you stood when all else fell. Baba Teyo returned in haste, breathless. They know. You must leave this bridge tonight. Kayleigh shook his head. Where can we go? Teyo pressed car keys into his hand. I'll drive you to a safe house. Adeabi's eyes flickered with panic. No. The bridge is my cage, but also my shield. Kayleigh held her trembling hands. Cages aren't homes, Ma. If they come here, it's a grave. Adeabi stared at him, lips quivering. Finally, she whispered, then I follow you. Teyo's eyes glistened. Boy, you've done what no doctor could. She trusts again. They slipped into night, guided by Teyo's battered car. The slums gave way to busy streets lit with neon. Adeabi whispered, pressing her chin to her chest. I left this city once. It never forgave me. Kayleigh leaned closer. Then we'll make it remember you differently. At a checkpoint, police waved them aside. Chuka's men watched from a distance, one dialing a phone. Teyo muttered, we're already hunted. Kayleigh's jaw tightened. Then let them hunt. We won't break. Adeabi gazed out at towers glowing above. Her almond eyes flickered with tears and fire. The glass doors they shut. I will walk through them again. The car rattled into a faded compound at the city's edge. Baba Teyo whispered, this safe house was once Madam's property. Few remember. Kayleigh helped Adeabi out. She clutched her tin, eyes darting. Walls like these once kept me prisoner. Inside, the air smelled of dust and forgotten wealth. Faded portraits hung crookedly. One frame bore Adeabi's younger face, smiling, regal. She gasped, touching the glass. That was me. Kayleigh steadied her trembling hand. And it will be you again. But outside, a car idled for too long, unseen. A shadow snapped photos through a crack in the gate. The enemy already knew their hiding place. Kayleigh patched windows while Adeabi explored the rooms. In a drawer, she found a bracelet, gold, thin, engraved with Nwaka. Her hands shook. My father gave this before he died. Kayleigh studied it. Proof, Ma. Proof they can't erase. Suddenly, glass shattered outside. They rushed to the window, the bracelet gone from her hand. Thieves. Kayleigh hissed, scanning shadows. Baba Teyo cursed. Not thieves. Spies. Adeabi collapsed to her knees, whispering. They take everything again. Kayleigh clenched his jaw. Not this time. I'll bring it back. In the distance, a figure melted into the night, clutching the bracelet like stolen fate. The bracelet theft rattled them. Adeabi sat silent, tin on her lap. Suddenly, she whispered, Lawyer Balagan. He knew my father's last will. Baba Teyo nodded slowly. Yes, Balagan feared Igioma, but he is loyal to truth. Kayleigh asked, can we trust him? Teyo sighed. If he's still alive. That night, Adeabi dreamt aloud, calling names, signing papers. Kayleigh held her hand, whispering, we'll find him. But miles away, Igioma called her agents. Search for Balagan. If he breathes, bury him with silence. The race had begun. They arranged to meet Balagan at dawn in a quiet cafe. Kayleigh guided Adeabi through back alleys, hood drawn low. Inside, a tall man with glasses and salt and pepper beard rose. Adeabi. Her lips trembled. Balagan. He bowed deeply. I never believed the lies. Your father's will was never destroyed. I hid a copy. Adeabi gasped, tears filling her eyes. But a motorcycle screeched outside, men in helmets circling. Balagan's voice hardened. They found us. Kayleigh gripped Adeabi's hand. Then we fight together. Gunshots shattered morning calm. Windows cracked. Kayleigh shoved Adayabi and Balagan behind an overturned table. Adayabi screamed, clutching her tin. Not again. They want to erase me again. Kayleigh shouted, stay down. He hurled a chair at the window. Balagan gritted his teeth. I have the will, but if I fall, it dies with me. Kayleigh grabbed his folio. Then I'll carry it. Adayabi pressed the tin to her chest, whispering, Father, protect us. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. The attackers sped off, but the warning was clear. Enemies would kill before letting truth breathe. The cafe reeked of smoke and shattered glass. Police finally arrived, sirens cutting the dawn. But their eyes shifted uneasily toward Balagan's folio. One officer muttered, Why risk your life for mad people? Kayleigh snapped, She is not mad. She is who they fear. Adayabi lifted her chin, almond eyes lucid. Write your report honestly, or history will expose you. The officer swallowed hard, lowering his gaze. Balagan whispered to Kayleigh, She is coming back. Bit by bit. Kayleigh stared at her, heart racing. For the first time, he saw not a broken woman but a queen waking from chains. At the safe house, Balagan unrolled hidden documents. This is your father's true will. It names you sole heir to the Nwaka fortune and foundation. Adayabi's hands trembled as she read her name. They swore I was erased. Balagan's jaw tightened. Igioma forged papers, using your barrenness as their excuse. Kayleigh's fists slammed the table. So they broke her mind for wealth. Adayabi whispered, voice sharp as glass. They thought madness would silence me. But madness remembers. Kayleigh leaned forward. Then we take this truth to the world. Meanwhile, in their mansion, Igioma tore through papers. Find the will. Without it, everything collapses. Chuka scowled. We have judges. We own police. Even if she rises, she'll be crushed. Igioma's eyes gleamed. Then destroy the boy. Her madness was silence, but his defiance is a flame. Chuka poured brandy slowly. Flames burn out. Let me handle him. But Igioma's voice dropped to ice. No. Flames spread. And if he carries her, he will carry her crown. Her fingers tapped the desk. We strike where he is weakest, loyalty. Back at the safe house, Kayleigh repaired broken locks. Adayabi watched him, her voice clear. You fight like a soldier, yet carry no weapon. He smirked faintly. My scar is weapon enough. It makes people fear me. Adayabi touched his brow. Scars are not weapons. They are maps. Yours leads to thrones. Kayleigh froze. I'm no king. She whispered. You are my son already, even if the world does not know. Kayleigh's chest tightened, his heart beating louder than the storm outside. At dawn, Funmi burst into the safe house with breaking news. Headlines everywhere. Adayabi Nwaka, the heiress who vanished, found alive. She laid papers on the table, photos splashed across front pages. Adayabi's hands shook. The world sees me now. Balagan nodded grimly. And so do your enemies. Kayleigh picked up a paper, his heart pounding at Adayabi's regal photo. Then let them see. Let them know you're not broken. Adayabi whispered, fire in her voice. Not broken. Reborn. But outside, black SUVs slowed near the compound, tinted windows hiding eyes that hunted. The clock of destiny had begun to tick louder. The compound shook with knocks at the gate. Police, voices barked. Balagan's face paled. Not police. Hired guns in uniform. Kayleigh gripped his backpack straps, chest heaving. We can't let them in. Adayabi's eyes sharpened. Open the gate. I will face them. Kayleigh turned, stunned. Ma, they'll kill you. She rose, tin clutched tightly. A crown is not worn hiding in shadows. Let them see who I am. The pounding grew louder. Balagan whispered. If you step out, the world changes or ends. Adayabi smiled faintly. Then let it change. The gate burst open, men flooding in. One aimed his gun at Kayleigh. Step aside, boy. She belongs in silence. Kayleigh snarled, grabbing a broken plank. She belongs to destiny, not you. Adayabi's voice rang like steel. Touch him, and even your shadows will curse you. For a heartbeat, the men faltered. Something in her eyes burned brighter than madness. It was command. Balagan seized the moment, shouting, the law still lives. Harm her, and you'll pay. The intruders hesitated, then retreated, spitting threats. Kayleigh collapsed against the wall, chest pounding. Adayabi knelt beside him, whispering, my son, my shield. Tears stung his eyes, but he whispered back, then I'll never leave your side. Night returned heavy. Adaobi sat, tin open, arranging her buttons. Kayleigh whispered, "Why do you do that?" She looked at him with calm. "Each button is a life they stole. But they forgot. I kept their ghosts." Kayleigh frowned, then noticed one button etched faintly with initials, IN. Igioman Waka, he breathed. Adaobi nodded slowly. "Even in my madness, I kept her mark. Proof she cannot erase." Balagan leaned closer. "This could destroy her." Adaobi's hands trembled. "Then let it." But outside, a camera clicked. Someone had been watching all along. Morning brought betrayal. Teo burst in, breathless. "Fummy's story is everywhere. But someone inside sold your location." Kayleigh's fists clenched. "Who?" Balagan's face darkened. It could only be someone close. Adaobi stared at them, trembling. "Even among us, knives hide." Kayleigh looked at Teo sharply. "Was it you?" The old driver's eyes filled with hurt. "Boy, I risked my life for her." Adaobi silenced them with a raised hand. "Truth will reveal itself. But until then, trust is our only weapon." The air thickened with suspicion, as if walls themselves listened. That night, Adaobi stood at the window, tin pressed to her chest. "They will never stop. Until I walk into the glass doors again." Kayleigh joined her, scar catching moonlight. "Then we'll walk in together." Adaobi's eyes filled with tears. "You would risk your life for me." He whispered, steady. "You risked your sanity for truth. Now I risk mine for you." Behind them, Balagan shuffled papers. "If we go public with the will, they will strike openly. But secrecy only delays the blade." Adaobi's voice steadied like steel. "Then let them strike. I will not bow again." Outside, headlights flared. SUVs rolled into the street, engines growling like beasts waiting to devour. Engines roared outside as men poured from SUVs, armed and masked. Kayleigh grabbed a chair leg, eyes blazing. Balagan shouted, "We must flee." Adaobi stood tall, tin pressed to her chest. "No. Tonight we end running." The attackers stormed in, rifles raised. One man barked, "Hand her over, and the boy lives." Kayleigh snarled, "Over my dead body." Adaobi stepped forward. "You've stolen my name, my wealth, my peace. But you will not steal my son." The men hesitated. Her voice was no longer madness. It was command. Gunfire cracked. Kayleigh swung wildly, knocking a rifle aside. Balagan ducked, clutching the will. One intruder lunged. Then Baba Teo burst through the back gate, wielding a crowbar. "Over my dead body." Shock froze Kayleigh. "You came back." Teo roared, smashing a gun from the attacker's hand. "I will never betray her. I was her driver, not her traitor." Adaobi's eyes filled with tears. "Teo." But another gunman aimed at Kayleigh. Adaobi screamed, "No." She hurled her tin at the attacker. Buttons scattered like bullets, the clang echoing as Kayleigh struck him down. For the first time, Kayleigh saw her madness turned into power. The attackers fled, leaving silence broken only by ragged breaths. But Balagan slumped, clutching his chest. Blood stained his shirt. "No," Kayleigh cried, kneeling. Balagan pushed the folio into his hands. "Protect this, it is truth. My life ends, but hers must begin again." Adaobi knelt, trembling. "Balagan, don't leave me." His eyes softened. "You were never mad, Adaobi. Only betrayed." With one last breath, he was gone. Adaobi wailed, clutching Kayleigh's shoulder. "They take everyone. Kayleigh held her, voice breaking. "Then I'll be the one they cannot take." By dawn, Adaobi stood in borrowed clothes, her scarf tied firmly, posture regal. Kayleigh whispered, "You look like them." Her almond eyes glistened. "No, I look like me. The me they buried." Baba Teo handed her Balagan's papers. "With this, the world cannot deny you." Adaobi lifted the folio high. "Today, the glass doors open." Kayleigh swallowed hard. "And if they try to shut them again?" She turned to him, voice unwavering. "Then we break them." Crowds gathered before the Nwaka Foundation headquarters, whispers spreading. From a black sedan, Adaobi stepped out, no longer ragged but resolute. Kayleigh followed, scar gleaming under daylight. Gasps filled the air. "It's her, the lost heiress." Igioma appeared on the steps, face pale. "You should have stayed buried." Adaobi raised the folio. "You buried me in madness. But truth resurrects." Kayleigh stepped forward. "And curses break when kindness defies them." The crowd roared, phones flashing. Igioma staggered, trapped in the light of truth. Adayabi's voice carried like thunder. My crown was never yours to steal. The storm had passed, but its echoes changed Lagos forever. From the gutter of a forgotten bridge to the marble steps of power, Adayabi Nwaka rose again. No longer the mad woman mocked in rags, but the billionaire heiress whose truth could not be buried. Beside her stood Kelechi Kele, Okoro, once cursed, once homeless, now the shield who broke through the darkness with kindness and defiance. Together, they shattered lies that had chained a dynasty. Crowds watched in awe as Adayabi lifted her father's will high, her voice steady as thunder. My crown was never yours to steal. And when Kele stood at her side, scar gleaming in the light, whispers spread like wildfire. The cursed boy has become a king. This was not merely survival. It was resurrection, and it was only the beginning of a legacy reborn.